Have you ever had a dreams? Have you ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Level 1. Oh my god. My high score is 26. I'm gonna assume that I'm a hot girl cube trying to dodge the patriarchy. You know, all the evil men cubes that are trying to get in on this bod, but all I'm trying to do is make my way home. All right, so I think in level 2, I made it home, but I forgot to pick up something crucial for my family for the dinner party we're having tonight, so I have to go back out there where all the chads are and go to the grocery store. Yeah, it's the wine. It's like a good drink. I need a drink for the family, for the dinner party, because my dad just won that award, you know? All right, level 3. So I got to the convenience store, right? Where they sell the wine. But when I got there, I brought up the drink, and they asked me for ID. And I'm only 17. I can't drink. I'm not allowed to buy alcohol. So now, it's me arguing with the convenience store manager, trying to be like, oh no, it's for my family, and he doesn't believe me. So now I'm like stepping outside, and I'm dodging all these chads while I'm trying to like find somebody and give them money so they can buy the alcohol for me being only a 17-year-old. And as I progress, like, I'm not finding anybody. All I'm seeing is more of these chads, more of these men who are horrible. So I'm trying to find one that's like respectful and like not just staring at my cube body. Yeah. All right, beat the level. All right, so we found the guy, right? The only problem is it was actually, oh my god. Oh shit, it's my professor. It's my professor from school. So like, I'm too embarrassed to ask him, but I couldn't recognize him because he wasn't wearing his glasses. He was wearing like a hoodie. He wasn't wearing his tweed jacket. So now I'm like kind of asking him like, oh man, like, should I do it? And it's like a battle in your mind while I'm still thinking about dodging chads. Being like, should I ask my professor? He's the only one that's trustworthy, right? Should he buy alcohol for me? I'm just a 17-year-old girl. How much choice? And it's I don't have that much time before the dinner party starts and all the guests arrive. All right, so we ask him, right? And as I ask him, he agrees as long as I don't tell people what I saw today, and I don't understand what he's talking about. And then he looked really nervous when I like went up to him, and then all of a sudden, right, I see him sneak something after transferring money with another guy. Like, hold on, he goes like, hold on a sec, Cindy, and he like walks over to this guy and he like changes money. And so my mind is that I've now watched a drug deal between my teacher, who wants to be called the professor, and you know, this shady drug dealer man. But I still need to like use this professor to get the alcohol for the dinner party. So now I've made a deal with my professor, and he's agreed that I'm not going to tell anybody about the heroin I saw him purchase, which is weird on a mortal ground because I'm part of the anti-drug group, which he's also the head of, so it's really shocking. What the fuck? Oh, you know what? This makes sense now. No, this is the whole part. I've gotten the alcohol, but the cops have showed up because, you know, the drug deal that they saw go down. So now I'm running with the professor because he still has the alcohol. He hasn't given it to me. So we're running from all the cops that are showing up, which are, you know, very clearly these red balls. So as I'm getting caught by the cops, the professor starts to tell me wild and crazy stories about how he doesn't actually do heroin. He was trying to find he was trying to find, you know, which guy sold fake heroin to some of the students that died last year. And that makes sense, because as being part of the drug alliance... Wait, I can just cheat? I can just cheat. Oh, this game is kind of flawed. So the professor, I'm running with him, right? And he thinks that the drugs are bad, and the reason why I'm buying because it's that, and that's also why he's not wearing his usual glasses and tweed, because he doesn't want people to know. He's trying to find this faux drug dealer that sold bad, you know. Wait, hold on. Can I just keep going forever? So the professor, we go into this warehouse, and the warehouse is like full of these like scientist dudes, and they're like, "Did you bring the drugs?" And he's like, "I brought the drugs." And I'm like, I'm kind of like, I'm interested in what's going on now, but I really just want the alcohol, so I get back to the dinner party. They call him the professor, which he then tells me the reason why his name is the professor. Like, one of the big things is because he's secretly, you know, he's secretly on like this huge thing that's this huge plan with this whole anti-drug thing, because these drugs are more powerful than you believe. All right, so now, right? So now he says, like, the people who don't die from the drug overdose, right? We did some research on we cadavered the girl's body that died from the drug overdosing, and it turns out that her DNA was changing while she was doing the drugs, and she was becoming something completely different. They don't know what, because her body wasn't able to handle it. So then the laboratory, the professor's explaining to me that, like, oh no, like, this is bad. This is way worse than I thought. It wasn't meant to kill her. It was meant to turn her into this thing. And I'm like, oh, what? Oh God, what's gonna happen? Like, can we stop it? And he goes, I don't know, but if we don't stop this soon, it's gonna get worse and worse. And then an explosion happens off in the distance. It's not in the warehouse. We assume it's well, we're not gonna spoil the rest of it, because I have to beat this level first. God damn it. I guess I can give a little bit of backstory. She's, as she said, she's head of the anti-drug association for her high school. And it's a very close friend of hers that died from this heroin overdose. And the girl wasn't known for doing heroin either. Like, it was an out of the blue thing. It wasn't like, oh, we do a lot of drugs. Like, they're part of the anti-drug association. So it's weird for her friend to die of super heroin. I should beat it. All right, so the explosion happens, right? And he drops the alcohol bottle of wine. And before I can grab it, it didn't break. Before anybody can grab it, another explosion happens and knocks most of us on his ass and destroys most of the research. And we're like, oh no, the cops are here, but it's not the cops. It's a different form of people, and they're all wearing masks, and none of them are wearing suits. It's not like that. They're all wearing kind of like what feels like scuba gear, but on land. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like scuba gear, but it's just like tight fitting like that. And the masks are like that of kind of like a horse that's grinning, like really, really hard. It's super druggies. Yeah, exactly. It's super druggies. Anyway, so the professor grabs one of his guns, and the gun is not a normal gun. It shoots like lasers and shit. And I'm ducked behind like a table, and I'm like, oh God, this is like shit's going down. I don't know what to do. And I see the alcohol and it's like flying across the room. So as I see the bottle's like spinning out of control as I'm like under the desk, and I'm like, oh no, I need that alcohol. And like the wine bottle like spins out of control because another explosion happens. And I see one in the laboratory, it's like, get out, and he gets shot and dies, right? And he then throws me the little baggie of super heroin, and I'm like, I don't want to touch that. That's heroin. It killed my friend. And he's like, no. And the professor is shooting pew pew at the drug guys that have come in, and like he's kind of leading me through the back, like, we have to go. Yeah, it's an anti-drug gun, actually. It shoots anti-drug lasers. So, I see a door that's like the force of the blast has kind of forced it open a lot. So I take the drugs that the laboratory guy has kind of thrown to me as he like bleeds from his mouth, and he's like, please go. And I start running, and the professor starts going with me, and a few other of the scientists like make it out alive too. So as we're like running through the streets, there's more and more druggies coming. I didn't write any of this. This is all clearly on the page. So this is like clearly what's happening in this video game. This is not my own OG. This is absolutely what Cube.It is about. Perfect. All right, so we get the level complete. So we make it out dark mode. Oh no. Okay, so a lot of the next part, I forgot about the next part, is a lot of it's gonna be in her mind. Mostly because as they start running more and more, I start sweating. Yeah. And the baggie that the heroin was in is not really right, so it starts to slowly kind of get into me. So I start to hallucinate more and more, not understanding. The horse masks of the faces I see in the scuba men starts to look more and more just like real true nightmares, like skeletons and like stretching out, and like it's almost like it should be hard like a skull, but the faces are more mushy, and like they feel like they can extend longer than they should. And like now as it goes further and further into the super heroine, it starts to feel like, oh yeah, here we go. So then one of them just straight up opens its mouth and fires a laser, and my professor gets hit in the arm. So me and the professor are still running, right? And I'm starting to lose a little bit of grip on reality. I'm starting to see some sort of six-legged mechanical being with wings. It stands on its four legs, but its two other arms look like are bigger than the other four arms, or four legs, I guess I should say. It's not like a centaur. It kind of looks like its two other legs are like going up, like over and around its bottom two legs, almost like a spider that was like trying to stand upright. And that mechanical being seems to be pointing not to home, but seems to be pointing down the street. And as I look farther down the street, it seems that the street is turning upwards and corkscrewing into the sky. God damn it. I'm just trying to get past this part. I keep getting shot in the face by weird demon scuba druggies. All right, this is why you don't take super heroin, by the way. So as I look at the professor, I can see that his face is not... I guess I haven't got to that part yet, but that's fine. I can just spoil a little bit for you guys. His face is changing as more time progresses. Yeah, and the mechanical being seems to have some sort of like... It's not like veins. It's more like a red line going to every orifice of its body that seem to pulsate with not its eyes, but seem to pulsate with its mouth, with it slightly ajar. It has quite the pointed chin, and it seems to be the same color as the heroine. As I'm starting to lose grip on reality. There we go. That's perfect. All right. So he points going through the corkscrew. I start running towards the corkscrew, and I look at the professor, and his face is changing like rapidly. And he's trying to tell me something, but all I hear is like backwards talk. So I keep running, but as I keep running, I'm getting more and more surrounded by the scuba men with the faces that stretch, even though they look like they're skulls of horses that shouldn't. They stretch and manifest and open. And some of them get, two of them get really close. And then I shriek very loudly. And as I shriek louder and louder, my mouth opens wider and wider, and I crunch down, and it seems that the shockwave of me crunching down my gigantic mouth just straight up cuts them in half. Wow, what a great ending to a level. That's been my favorite level so far. I keep running through, and as I keep running, my arms start growing longer and longer and start to kind of corkscrew like the streets that I'm running into. And they corkscrew with it, and as more and more of the guys show up, they start to stay farther and farther away because they can see what I'm becoming and what I'm doing to them. This is really interesting. Now it's just a bunch of flashes of like weird imagery, a couple kissing, it looks like it's me and the girl who overdosed in Superhero were kissing. Oh, we were lesbian lovers. Wow, good one call, Greg. Good call on that one. She whispers something into my ear. She says it's okay. Okay. She's saying it's okay. She goes, I felt lost too. All right, this is cool. I like this. I don't know where this is going. At the end, I look forward at the end of the streets. And at the end of the streets, I can very clearly say, I'm starting to sweat again, I know. At the end of the streets, I can very clearly see the alcoholic bottle. So I go and I stretch for it. And as I stretch for it, I fell off the map. Like the wine bottle is at the end of the street, kind of flowing there mystically. And as I'm stretching it more and more, my arm starts twisting the opposite way and changing, like less than, kind of like I just did in the game, the opposite way of the street, right? And I don't know if I mentioned, but the character's in a schoolgirl outfit this entire time. There we go. So my arm gets shot off, and it seems to twist and solder itself so no blood escapes. I turn around and straight up murder one of the horsemen who shot my arm. And then I keep running faster towards the bottle. I might get it, actually. Come on. Kev, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just playing a video game that has tons of story. Like, way too... Kind of like Dark Souls level of deepness. It's all very, like... It's deep, but a lot of it is on the surface. You can get it through one playthrough, I think. I don't think you have to go through this game multiple times. Alright, cool. We beat the level. I'm about to grab that bottle again. Another one of the guys shows up, except one of the horsemen shows up, except he looks way different. This horseman seems to have some sort of, like, electrical... kind of like electricity running through him. And he seems to, every time he steps, seems to cause, like, a small power outage or some, like, EMP blast. And, I have to defeat him, of course. Which is fairly easy, considering I have the powers of a god. As I'm fighting that horseman, the horseman god weird thingy starts shooting electricity, but I'm just far too strong for him, and I kind of just tear him limb from limb without any sort of problem. And then a helicopter is coming down, right? And a helicopter is dropping off another seems to be a bigger horseman, and this horseman seems to have seems to look like the girl that died of a heroin overdose. It looks more like her, and it kind of morphs into her slowly. And I kind of, I start freaking out, and I don't believe that it's her. And she keeps on trying to reassure me that it's her. Don't worry about it. It's totally me. It's okay. It's your best friend. It's okay now. You can do it. And I don't believe it. And she goes, no, it's okay. And so, as I get closer, she takes out a sword and stabs me. Oh, wow. That's really depressing. And she kind of morphs back into the horse thing. Oh, how am I supposed to see the ending? So I kind of take the sword out, and I start understanding that it's not really her, as she slowly morphs back into a weird horse demon thing, and I just rip her to shreds with my crazy long arms. And then all the other horsemen disappear. All of them. And I'm just sitting there lost and alone, and it's dark, and there's no street lights, but they feel like if there's no light coming from them, but I can still see them. It's almost like my eyes have gotten used to looking at this darkness for so long. And there's no lights in any of the buildings nearby. And there's no stars. I'm just staring up. And in the distance, I see a flicker. It weirdly kind of looks like a lava lamp, but it's not. It's kind of like more of like a bottle. So I start running towards it really, really fast. And in it, I can see the light shining through. Oh, come on, I'm trying to run to the bottle. I see the bottle, and I reach for the bottle. Right. And as soon as I grab the bottle, lights turn on in the city again, and my house. Oh, I have to restart because I cheated. And the house. Oh, it started to form again, as you saw at the very end of that level. Her house started. Well, my house, I guess, started to form again near us, with a door looking like it's left unlocked, but not ajar. It's still closed, but you don't need a key to get inside. Perfect. All right. Grabs the bottle, house forms, and she enters the house. And there's no furniture. And she walks up the stairs. And as she walks up the stairs, you can see pictures of our family. And it looks like we were a happy family with me, a mom, and the father. And I go upstairs and I enter where my room was, and I see me alone on the floor crying. I'm walking over to myself, and I say, it's okay. And I kind of envelop into myself, and then I walk. Everything goes back to normal, like I'm in my house. I can look at my window and see that the world is there. as it once was. And I have a bottle of oh, god damn it, see? And I have a bottle of alcohol in my hand. Unopened, of course, and it's wine. And the girl walks downstairs, and she sees her mother crying at the dinner table alone, like she's been doing for many nights. And I walk downstairs, and I hand her the bottle, and I said, "It's okay." She says, "This was his favorite drink." And I sit, laughing and crying with my mother. I don't think I can finish this one. I think that's a metaphor. I think that's a metaphor for a lot of things in this game. Can't beat the final level because the final level is always going to be there. It's always going to be something you have to live with. I assume, honestly, that maybe the father was an alcoholic, but that's a theory. That's just a game theory. Pat Rat, you should get on this one. Play this game, figure out the story, because it's pretty intense. Oh boy. Wait, did we miss the family dinner or what? I don't think there ever was a family dinner. I think the family dinner, I mean, maybe we did. I think the family dinner was more about, you know, he's gonna miss every family dinner. The father's obviously dead. I think that was pretty clear. Maybe not. I actually don't know. Maybe it was all just complete nonsense that somebody made up on the spot. Kind of has that little tinge to it. Has a little tinge of just pure crazy nonsense. Kind of like Evangelion. It's unfinishable. That makes sense. You know what? That kind of falls in line with the whole thing. You never truly finish. There's never truly a finish to the grievance you feel when you lose somebody. That makes sense. Good job. Good job, game. Wow. 10? Not 10 out of 10. More like 4 out of 10 story. Had some plot holes. Didn't understand what the whole heroin part is about, but I guess that's because I'm not looking too far into it. So this has been Cube.It. I wonder what Zoran will think of this one. I'm curious what Zoran's gonna do with this fucking episode. Whoa, God. Like, does he just... There's no jokes in it, I don't think. Oh, boy.